Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Pistons come into town. For this one. Barclays Center, the fan, and nothing tips off a broadcast.
Well, guys.
And DA, it's obvious that Stan has a real love for the game. Here's hoping he turns that storied franchise around.
Ready to go?
And Chris, it must be fun for you watching two teams who look for a lot of their offense in the low block.
I mean, there's a real art to being on that low block. If you think about it, you can facilitate just like a point guard. All you have to do is just be dominant down there. When you do that, you'll cause a double team. Your height, your position, where you're on the floor, you can see over other players, and you can find that open man. It's like playing the point guard, just from a different position.
So it's physical, but there is a lot of nuance to it as well, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely physical. Much more physical than being out top of that front of the key. But if you can handle it correctly, that means you have more space, you can be more efficient, use less dribbles, and also now with the way that players play and their skill set, they space the floor so much, so it's harder for a player to get to you and help. And if a player does commit to you with that help, that means you can find an open man and make the defense pay.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and Bradley are in the backcourt. Inside, it's Harris and Drummond. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. Now here's Bradley. Defense right on him. Clock at 4. And it's Johnson penetrating. That's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And Stan Van Gundy, known for being one of the more demanding coaches when it comes to defense. He doesn't care who you are. If you're not giving it your all on the defensive end, you're going to find yourself on the bench.
Well, he's clear with what he wants and what he expects, and, when you step on the floor.
Outside Bradley. Inside, Harris kicks to Drummond. Back to Harris. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Goes back up with 1 on the clock. Mozgov grabs the board.
That defense is as good as a block. I mean, what looks to be a layup turns into nothing.
And it's Carroll in the corner. Russell against Bradley. To the middle. Here's LeVert. Good. And a nice assist from Booker. LeVert's got his first basket.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Jackson passes to Harris. Back to Jackson. 41 seconds left in the first quarter. Harris inside, defended by Booker. Here's Drummond, another shot, and the layup is good.
Now, the energy Drummond has on the glass, it's really ridiculous. He's a spark plug, a real spark plug.
Russell with it. Now guarded by Bradley. Russell against Bradley. Here's LeVert. They get the rebound. Booker dishes to Russell. Passes it to LeVert. Picked by Mozgov. Three-pointer. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And the Nets with the lead.
And over the course of the Nets franchise history, some interesting decisions. I mean, back in the 90s, they came very close to changing the team name to the Swamp Dragons. I think we're just going to leave that one right there.
Russell and LeVert in the backcourt. Carroll and Booker are your small and power forwards. And it's Mozgov in at the pivot, manning the middle. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter.
And the field goal percentage has dropped to the low 30s for the game. They have the lead, but that might change if they don't improve their shooting.
To the middle. The shot from the low post is good. Mozgov's got the lead up to 4 now for Brooklyn. So, Greg, how close were the Nets to being the Swamp Dragons anyway?
Well, it needed a unanimous vote of all the teams to change it, but there was one vote against it. The Nets themselves voted against the change, and they had 7 owners who rotated voting duties, and the one on deck got cold feet.
Russell from long range. Rebound, Detroit. Now here's Bradley, the fast break opportunity. Russell against Bradley. Out to Russell. And there's a minute 45 left in the second quarter. Back to Mozgov. Good, and the assist goes to Russell.
And you love how Russell keeps his eyes up. Rarely misses a guy when he's free.
Russell against Jackson. Poked loose. It's stolen by Carroll. Russell inside. Looking for his first basket still in this one. We've got 1:13 left in the first half of basketball. 6 on the shot clock. The Nets need to get a shot off here. LeVert. That one doesn't drop. Bradley with some nice D. Harris against Booker. Harris outside. Johnson with a screen on Booker. Harris kicks to Johnson. No one near him. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And Johnson has a great shot selection, looking only to take high percentage attempts.
Bradley against Russell. And the foul on Avery Bradley. That is his first foul of the game. Down low, here's Mozgov. And Mozgov throws it down.
And how about the aggressive side of Mozgov? Benefits the team when he's that energized.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Harris passes to Johnson. Here's Drummond. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Well, he struggled out of the gate, but now he's really cooking in the second quarter.
The Pistons shooting their first free throw of the game here.
One of the worst in the league a season ago, just 72%.
That's just a lack of communication. Two guys just not on the same page.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit.
Yeah, you know, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Well, this is the dilemma as a coach. You wonder, do I need to call a timeout here? Do I need to settle these guys down? Should I let them play through it?
Jackson kicks to Drummond. That evens the score. Drummond's got 8 points.
Sometimes all you have to do is dump the ball down to Drummond and get out of the way. He'll take care of the rest, utilizing his massive frame so well.
Tie game.
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room with the game all knotted up. And from what we saw so far, and that will wrap up.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Andre Drummond with a strong contribution so far. And Chris, one of the rare honors for an NBA player is to have their jersey retired. The Kings retired your number 4. What does an honor like that feel like? What does that mean to you?
Man, it meant so much to have my jersey retired. I was there with my family, my wife, my brothers, sisters, parents, and everyone. And so it was just a really, really great moment. You know, when you're playing the game, you can really, we say enjoy the process, but you never really can really enjoy it day to day because you're always thinking ahead, trying to get better. And so it was just a really cool moment to sit back and think about all the positive things we did in the city, for the city, and definitely for the game of basketball. So it was a great feeling, and you know, Sacramento forever. I thank them for that, and I love them there.
Wonderful years, indeed. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Inside, it's Harris and Drummond. Jackson and Bradley are in the backcourt, and it's Kennard in at the 3. And Brooklyn making a change here. Hollis Jefferson's checked in. Drummond a screen to the paint, up off the screen, and it's Drummond with the jam.
Oh, you really like how determined Drummond is. Always willing to sacrifice his body to open up some space for guys.
Russell against Bradley. 1:52 left to play here in the third. And AC kicks to Mozgov. Over Drummond. Mozgov's shot is off.
The D a little slow to get in his face. They're fortunate it didn't cost him. You see, I love Reggie Jackson, how he attacks players with his drive. He uses his size nicely. He's so athletic. I mean, he has one of the best Euro steps in the game and a nice tempo change to keep the D off guard.
Drummond a screen. Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
We've got 1:23 left here in the third quarter. And with Jackson and his ability to attack the rim, that strength plays into another strength of his, which is pulling up short and getting a jumper or a floater on the fly.
Well, that tandem of talents make Jackson such a tough assignment on defense. He has the right mentality to consistently create chances. No real easy way to defend against him.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. So for the Nets, Allen comes in for Mozgov, and it's Allen Crabbe in for Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Outside Bradley. 6 on the shot clock. That shot off. Excellent D there from Allen. Nets trail by 4. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Stolen by Jackson.
If they play it right, we're talking a 2-for-1.
Exactly, but you still want a decent look because if you miss, the strategy doesn't help you.
Here's LeVert. And Jackson with the block. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Back to Bradley. It's his first trip to the line. And he makes the first.
I mean, and at 6'3", Bradley is a plus defender thanks to his quickness and tenacity.
And so Bradley nails both of them. The Nets have gone 0 of 4 from the field in the second half, yet to find the mark. Crabbe, that's for 2. Releases from the wing and drills it. We've got 13 seconds left in the third quarter. Bradley with the ball. Drummond a screen. 3 seconds left. And it's Bradley laying it in. Bradley's got the lead up to 6 now for the Pistons.
With his athleticism, nice to see Bradley driving to the rim.
And so it's Detroit with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. We'll return shortly. Let's listen in now to head coach Stan Van Gundy from a few moments ago.
Just relax and play the game.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Russell and LeVert in the backcourt. Allen is out there with Quincy Ace, and it's Crabbe in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Jackson drives in, and it's Drummond with the jam.
Well, it's easy to see why Drummond is one of the strongest guys in the game. Even when he gets bodied, he still gets these shots to fall.
They get it back. There's the pass to LeVert. They set the pick. Allen a screen on Jackson. Easy the pass to LeVert. A 3-pointer, no good.
Well, if they want to cut into this lead, they need to make more intelligent plays on offense and not force something up when it's not there.
Nets trail by 8. Timeout called, the Nets.
Yeah, and the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Ooh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
Brooklyn making some changes. Mozgov, he's checked in for Allen. And Damari Carroll subbed in for Allen Crabbe. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Kenny Atkinson had some words for his team during the break. He told them, it's time for you to fight to get this lead. Let's bring this one home. Guys, we'll see if they have what it takes to get it done. Back to you.
And Harris is so good at remaining active on both ends of the court, never making anything easy for the opposition, which in turn results in a lot of steals.
And when you're down this many points, hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Well, the game looks like it's starting to wear on them. Unable to get out, defend the perimeter, unfocused. It's a bad sign.
And Chris, you can always face up so well from the high post when you play. Which power forward do you think has the best face-up game out there right now?
Well, I think in order to have a really good face-up game, you have to have another threat, and that's to be able to drive and finish strong off of one leg. And you definitely look at a guy like Towns in Minnesota. He has that. He's so explosive. He can finish with either hand. I also think you have to look at Anthony Davis. This kid, he can stretch the floor, shoot out to the 3, but also his first step is so quick. The same with Cousins. The fact that he's 7 foot can post you up, but his first step being quick off of a pump fake, he can do it as well. And don't forget about Blake Griffin. When he gets to that 15-foot spot, you really have to honor his jump shot. So those guys come to mind as far as big fellas that could face you up and knock it down.
I know you took great pride in your decision-making in terms of when to shoot and when to drive.
Yeah, I think your shot selection is your defense as well. You shoot a bad shot, a team like Golden State could have 6 points on 2 possessions off of 2 bad turnovers. And also, I think it shows a commitment to your team for wanting to win. You know, just because you have the green light, why take that when a teammate might have a better shot that's open? So I think it takes a little bit of humility, but definitely a basketball IQ that says, wait, this is the smarter play right now. Can you think it on the live and while it's going on? So it's definitely important to be able to make those decisions.
It is, yeah, it is. And Bradley gets it to go.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Wow, this is just a huge road win. These guys banded together. Just an awesome performance.
To halt the run, AC misses. And here's Bradley from deep. Misses.
And nice hustle by Russell, trying to make himself into more of a two-way player.
And so the